you down to the bottom of the ocean to discover Rapture, a city built by a dude named Andrew Ryan, a fancy entrepreneur who created Rapture as a utopia for artists and creatives. And it's just a really advanced city that runs on hardcore capitalism. Also, Ryan is really big on sweat metaphors for some reason. Anyway, the second you get there, you realize Rapture has gone to and some dude named Atlas says he'll help you get out if you do a bunch of for him. And that usually involves pissing off Ryan, and a bunch of other stuff, and nothing weird about it. Everything's cool. Now, the thing about Bioshock is that the story isn't in your face all the time. There are barely any cutscenes, and if you ignore all the extra the story is super straightforward. But don't get me wrong, there is a very deep and complicated story here, you just have to go look for it. Especially if you want to know why Rapture looks like a toilet exploded. So if you're expecting the story to be spoon-fed to you, you're gonna have a bad time. So when you first start the game, you get to pick your difficulty. Now, while you can change it later on if things get too tough, for me personally, I always play on easy. No, not because I'm bad at games, although I'm not super great at shooters, but it's because of the morality mechanic. Well, it's sort of a mechanic. It's really just, are you gonna be a bitch or not a bitch? Because there's only 3 endings. But just play on easy your first time around, because it's just more enjoyable to explore and get lost in the story instead of pulling your hair out cause this is your 5th time dying. What the f***? Where did he come from? Now about that morality mechanic. There are these things running around Rapture called Little Sisters. They carry this called Adam, which is basically the game's experience points. The Little Sisters are protected by Big Daddies, the big things in diver suits that make dying whale noises. To get to the Little Sisters, you need to kill their Big Daddy first, and you'll want to get to the Little Sisters to get Adam to upgrade your So here's the kicker. When you get to the Little Sisters, you have 2 choices. Harvest or rescue. Harvesting kills the Little Sisters, but you get the max amount of Adam, while rescuing them lets them live, but you only get 2/3 of the Adam. The game assures you that you need lots of Adam to survive, but if you play on easy, it's not really that necessary. Haha, see where I was going with this? But don't f***ing kill the Little Sisters. Yeah, I know there's something right out of a nightmare with their creepy, "Look, Mr. Bubbles, it's an angel," and the freaky glowing eyes, but you are rewarded if you save them. And you'll feel much better about yourself. Because even though they look like something from a B-rated horror movie, they are children at heart. Or you could be a total and kill them, you murderer. But, do what you want, I guess. So the majority of the story is explained with audio logs that you find all over Rapture. Honestly, I f***ing love the audio logs. The characters are interesting and they're always talking about something neat, so really make an effort to find these things. Nothing like shooting people in the head while listening to Ryan's butter smooth voice as he talks about capitalism and killing people. Of course, I think the game should have changed the way you play them. You have to hold down X/A, and if you accidentally play one and you've heard it already, you can't f***ing stop it, and it can get really annoying really fast. The game is kinda linear too, so finding all of the audio logs isn't exactly hard. Like, you'll get these open areas to explore, and while you're only required to go to certain parts, there's extra stuff to check out, but by no means is it overwhelming. So when it comes to combat, it's basic FPS with a dash of RPG crap. You'll get your guns in these things called plasmids, which let you shoot weird from your hands and improve certain combat things. Now, picking the best weapons in plasmids is really up to your playstyle. There's a lot to choose from. Like, there's a lightning plasmid, a fire one, ice, telekinesis, hypnosis, wind, bees.
Beads.
Bees?
Beads.
Beads?
But play around with them. You're limited on how many you can have equipped at once, but you'll quickly learn what you're comfortable with. Also, if you're not super big on, "Look out, here I come, I'm here to f*** it up, coming into this area, guns a-blazing," that's okay. There is room for stealth in this game. Enemies won't attack if they can't see you. So if you want to be all sneaky and bash a wrench into someone's skull, you can do that. The game has light RPG elements. Most of it is just picking and choosing what plasmids to buy and equip, so it's not rocket surgery. The weapons upgrade doesn't cost money though. You'll find these weapon upgrade stations around, and you can increase basic but you can only do one upgrade at a time and then the station closes. Not the best business model, but hey, just choose wisely when picking an upgrade, you nerd. Search f***ing everything! I'm serious. For some reason, there's good shit in the trash, and Jack will literally eat anything. Enemies will almost always have good stuff on them, so make sure to search bodies afterwards. Also, you can only carry so much cash, too, so be sure to spend it when you start making the big bucks. It never hurts to have too much ammo, and the Circus of Values tune never gets old. Yeah, never gets old. Hacking. While I think it's cool that you can basically hack anything, the minigame takes too long. It's not super complicated, it's just putting the right pieces together to connect the two ends. But there's a lot to hack in this game, and it's just not worth it sometimes. Like, don't hack a stationary bot in an area you've already cleared of enemies, just blow up the thing for God's sake. You'll get these automatic hacks, but I always save those for saves because they're a bitch to unlock. But if there's one thing I always take the time to hack, it's the flying bot.